Happy Friday to everyone. This is Dyer Kennedy from Divergence Analysis looking at the DVAN SmartLines package of indicators on NinjaTrader. Today we're using trading example from the entire day after about 9:30 Eastern Time on the Euro dollar. The chart is a 4-range chart. Range charts are great because they take a lot of the time-based consolidation and whip out of the chart. I'm going to create some very basic rules that we follow with DVAN SmartLines for entry and exit, and go through the entire day until about 3 p.m., which is when I'm making this video. Entry rules are: first, we look for a green arrow to the upside. That's plotted when the green line in the DVAN signals indicator below crosses the blue line. If we see a green arrow, we also want to see green histogram bars in the short-term trend, meaning that that short-term trend is positive. And lastly, we want to see green price bars as well. This is an algorithm running underneath showing whether buying or selling pressure is dominant. Green price bars mean buying pressure is dominant, red price bars mean selling pressure is dominant. So those are the criteria for a long entry, short entry, or exact opposite. Obviously, we want to see a red arrow, red price bars, and red histogram. For exits, the smart lines, this light blue, gray dotted line, and red line, serve nicely to follow up the trend of the price movement of the trade and show points of natural support and resistance in which to get out. So for an exit to a long trade, we'll look at a red bar closing below the trend line, which is the light blue line. And for a short trade, it will be conversely a green bar closing above the light blue line trend line. So I'll quickly go through the trades today and show you some examples of how we did. The first trade, given at 9:48 at 1.1083, we move up for about 14 minutes and we get out at 1.1103 for a 20 bip trade. Second trade, we see all the short criteria are met. Red price bar, red arrow, red histogram. We get in at just after 10 a.m. 1.1091, and we get out here where the green price bar closes above the trend line just barely for a 6 bip winner. Don't see any arrows or indications of a trade for a while, and then at 10:43 we get a loser. This is an entry long. It meets our criteria, but it just reverts back down in a larger long-term trend to the downside. You can see that long-term trend identified by these leading lines and baseline crossing below the zero in the DVAN signals. But just for example's sake, we take this trade. The good thing is we get out fairly quickly because price bars turn red and close below the trend line. We lose 9 bips. Just a few minutes later, we get a nice short side move at 10:55 a.m. This is given at 1.1066, and momentum increases steadily, and we get out at a pretty close to the relative low, right at 1.1033. This is the big trade of the day, 33 bips. We get a few more trades in the mid part of the day, the noon hour, where things are quieting down, but we see the long entry criteria are met. This is a 4 bip trade, winner. We see some consolidation but no arrows, so there's no entry here. This is a good feature of DVAN SmartLines. It keeps you out of some of the consolidation. And right going into the noon hour at 11:55, we get another 4 bip winner. We're still, as you can see in DVAN signals, in a longer term downtrend, but like I said, for the sake of taking all of the signals that meet our criteria for this particular example, we enter at 12:28. This is a 12-point loser, or 12 bip loser, excuse me. And we get out relatively quickly just a few minutes later when that price bar turns back red. The next bar ensuing after the out, we get back into the short side and catch a good resurgence down of that longer term short trend, and this is a 19-point BIP winner. This is mostly consolidation, which you can see because the leading line here in the short-term trend does not cross above zero. We really want to see that to start seeing confirmation of a more momentum going in the long direction, but this ends up being a 3-point or 3 BIP loser. The last trade that we'll go over is a short trade that meets all of our criteria. It's remaining in that longer term weak trend, negative trend, and we get an 11 BIP winner to end this example throughout the day. So we had 10 trades that we looked at from just after 9:30 a.m. to just after 3 p.m. 7 winners, 3 losers, total of 73 bips made with a very simple entry and exit system based on DVAN SmartLines. Any questions, or if you would like to take a free trial to see how this system could fit into your trading strategy, please email info@divergencanalysis.com or visit DVAN, that's DVAN, smartlines.com for more information.